All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Billy Boy, and I'm about ready to go into the Willie Birch. It says Willie Birch Story Tales. So let's see what Willie Birch has. I've never heard of this guy, ever. I'm about ready to go in here right now. And let's see what happens. Oh, look, the big sliding door opened up. Wow, this is amazing. And so, oh, look, it's like a big exhibit. Isn't this amazing? This is just like the big exhibits that they have like in the Huntington Library and stuff. This is amazing. I cannot believe they have something like this for black people. Wow, look at this. All right, so we're going to go look at this first thing here. It looks like an American flag or something here. And I can't read the writing is too small. It says Two Faces of a Nation. So they got the exhibit here, and this is amazing. Okay, here we got another artwork here. And let me go read what it says. This artwork is called Ghost Cities. All right, it's talking about his early works. And this is really amazing. Wow, look at this. These are all of his works that he has in his lifetime. We got security over here. But look at that. Isn't this amazing? Look at that. It looks like somebody's playing a little horn or something right there. I cannot believe this. I did not know that black people do stuff like this. Isn't this amazing? Look at that. Wow. Wow, look at that. They've got great artwork and sculptures of black people here. Look at these paintings here. This is amazing. And this is just the first room, ladies and gentlemen. This is just, there's more. This one is called Spirits. And then this one is called Spirits Number 1. Wow, you guys need to come down here and take a look at this. Wow. This one's called, what is this one called? This one's called March Against Apartheid. Wow, look at that. You know, when I go down to museums, you know, like the Huntington Library or the great big ones and stuff, I very rarely see anything open up for black arts. But look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Wow. Look at this stuff right here. Wow, nice floor. Don't you like this? This reminds me of what's going on in the 50s and 60s. This nice bus situation right here. They call this the Untitled for Williamsburg. Wow, look at this. And it goes on, and it goes into another chamber right here. Wow. Look at this, folks. Wow. Okay, we're on this one here. This one is called Memories of the 60s. Looks like a black woman. She's taken and she's sewing up a little quilt here. She's talking about justice of death. Wow. Isn't that beautiful? And then we go out into the art gallery here, and we see all kind of people here. We got a black lady holding her daughter. She's in her tribal wear and stuff. Look at this. Wow. Look, we got Venetians and stuff here. This black and white image. You know, it's really nice to see, you know, black pictures and stuff that's pictured in black and white. But it's just absolutely gorgeous. Look at what's on this wall right here. Wow, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Wow. look at this. And they've got all these different statues and stuff right here. Isn't this is fantastic? We got mom holding the little baby and stuff. I've seen so many situations where they're in military situations and the mom is defending her family and she's got her little baby, her babies on her shoulder and her older son and stuff is defending and stuff. And this one has Malcolm on the back. Wow. Look at all the symbols on the side, on the back of her. Can you imagine somebody being in this situation? But look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. And then we zoom back over here and we take a look at all the stuff. We got paper mache sculptures and stuff. It says right here, paper mache. And then we got all this going on here. Look at the beautiful yellow and green colors. Isn't this nice? We got the soldiers sitting up here. They've got all their stuff all ready to defend. They call this for Malcolm and Martin. Hey, isn't that something? They got my name on here. I'm not kidding right here. It says right there, for Malcolm and Martin. That's me. Isn't that something? Wow. This says woman on the balcony in 1989. We got women on the balcony. Look at this, you're on the balcony and they gotta climb up and they gotta escape from the dangers and stuff. But they got replicas of the apartment right here. We gotta escape. We gotta take and be free. Oh my goodness. And then we got the young man, he's sitting here. He's all wondering, like, I gotta take and read. And he's reading and he's reading. And I wonder what he's reading. He's reading something here, but he's reading something for freedom. Look at him sitting there by himself. He's got his radio. I got a radio just like that. My radio looks just like that. That looks just like me. Matter of fact, I'm wearing a hat that looks just like him. Look at my hat. Look at my hat. I got the same hat that he has. Isn't this amazing? All right. And we got, oh, look right here. This says going south, right? Wow. Look at that. These absolutely gorgeous scenarios that they have made. This one's called the subway scene. And this is, I just finished getting off of a train. And this reminds me of exactly where I was just a few minutes ago. I just got off the metro train, and that looks like me. Oh, if this don't remind me of myself in the schools. I used to sit up here with a chalk and write standards on the boards. And I had to stand there at the chalkboard. Do you guys remember that? And if you wasn't chopping, they would take and come on your ass right there. They would have a paddle and they would paddle you. But you had to sit there the whole school day and write these standards with your face up against the blackboard. I don't know why they call it a blackboard, because the blackboard was actually green. But this reminds me of me in school when I was going to school in the 50s and 60s. Yeah, teachers didn't put up with your shit. Oh, look at this. We got something here. We got a black guy, and he's setting up a little penguin. He's setting up a little trap. Look at him. He's sitting here, and he's got some string in his hand. And if I go down here, he's got a little box with a stick. And he's waiting for the pigeons to take and come. I think he put some feed in there, and he's waiting for the pigeons to take and go into that box. And then what he does is he'll pull the stick right here. When he pulls that stick, then the pigeons will get trapped into the box. Look at that, they got an exhibit of a black guy sitting there trapping them pigeons. Now, they don't always eat the pigeons. They train the pigeons to do stuff. They could be train the pigeons to take and carry messages and stuff. But look at this. Isn't this amazing? We got the black kid sitting here, and he has got the stick, and he's sitting there, and he's going to trap those pigeons right there. And then all this wonderful artwork on the walls. Isn't this absolutely gorgeous? Look at this stuff. It looks like a little chapel. There's some kind of little chapel or something in here. I'm gonna look inside. Oh my goodness, there's some kind of chapel or something. I don't know what's on the inside, but it's like we got a little chapel right out here in the middle of the floor. I'm going on the back side of it, and then I'm going around the other side. But we got this little chapel. I guess they do little prayers and some kind of stuff, inside the chapel and stuff. They got some kind of little religious charms and stuff up at the top. This is amazing. Look at that. Look at that. All the way around this little chapel looking thing here. Then here's the entrance. I guess you go inside and you sit there and you pray and do all your kind of little stuff that you want to do. But all on the walls, all along the walls, they got all kind of beautiful stuff. Black history, the houses, the cars. This all reminds me of me, because I went through all this. That's the way my house looked. And when I went to Kansas, my houses, my fences, my white picket fences looked just like that. Because I lived through the Jim Crow law, and there was a lot of stuff going on here. Right? Is this fantastic? Look at this. This is exactly the way my life was in the 50s and 60s. I lived just like this. And so we have it's called Hurricane Katrina right here. That didn't happen too long ago. That happened in 2005. And in 2005, a lot of black people got injured in that, and they didn't do shit for them. They didn't do anything for the black people there. They were all up in the stadiums and stuff, but they didn't care less about the black people, right? A lot of black people lost their lives and were suffering in this Hurricane Katrina. And so that just kind of really made me think about what they thought about black people, right? They didn't give us too much care at all right there in Hurricane Katrina. All right, so now here we are. Look at this right here, folks. Isn't this beautiful? Look at this wall right here with all this different quilt work. I just love the beautiful precision and all the colorful stuff. They got bones and stuff all weaved into it. They got a little rope. If we go a little closer, you can see that the rope has bones weaved into it. So I guess the bones is marking off some kind of time span or something like that. But it's just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Isn't that just, you don't see that every day, folks. You really don't. Look at that artwork right there. They wove it in here. Let me see if I can find the name of it. This is called For a Generation Not Yet Born in Louisiana Slave Result, a quilt fabric, sweetgrass, bones, and cotton. This work is the first quilted piece as an abstract representation of the largest slave rebellion in the United States. So this has to do with the slave rebellion, right? And there's all kind of wonderful stuff portraying the history of the slave reunion. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm down here in CAAM, the California African American Art Museum. This is a absolutely gorgeous place. You need to come down here and take a look at this place. right? Nice air conditioning, nice building and everything. Come on down and take a look at this. You will really enjoy all the wonderful exhibits, all the wonderful people. Look at this guy. Look how he stands right there, majestically. You will enjoy the Black history. You will enjoy all the Black art. You will enjoy all the Black exhibit. It's nice and quiet here. It's air conditioned and this is absolutely gorgeous. You need to come down here, folks. This is a lost gem that a lot of you people have never seen. You've been living here for like 20, 30, 40 years and you never come down here. You need to come down here, folks, and take a look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It tells you about our Black history and about what African Americans have gone through in their lives. Here's another one that says folkloristic sceneries, scenic stuff right here. They got a little stuff here about Jesus and all this kind of stuff on this wall here. Look at this. Just absolutely wonderful. Look at these paintings. This is fantastic. We got El Mandala, the birthday celebration of Nelson Mandela. Look at this. Isn't this fantastic? We got another one here, right? Martin Luther King. You know, oh my God. This is absolutely wonderful. We got another one right here. And then over here we got a floor sculpture right here. Wow, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? She's got the umbrellas and stuff right here. Absolutely gorgeous. Wow, look at that. Look at the expression. Each one of these things has a different expression. You can see, look at the expression on her face. Look at the expression on this person's face, right? Each one has some type of expression, right? An expression that's going through time. Wow, look at that. That looks like me over there, right? This looks like Billy Boy. Does this one look like Billy Boy? That looks like me right there. The guy that's sitting there with the sunglasses on. That looks like me. All right, I hope you really enjoyed the show. And I hope you come down here sometime. There's the guards over there. Hi, Mr. Guard. There's Mr. Guard sitting over there. He's watching me, I'm watching him. I'm watching this right here. And he's blowing his horn and everything. All right. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you. We're in the Willie Birch. It's called Willie Birch Stories to Tell. Come on down here to the California African American Museum and look at the Willie Birch Stories to Tell. All right, this is Billy Boy on What's Up, What's Up, What's Up?